Hello, good evening, everybody, and welcome back to the Mancunian Way, episode 14 of Blues Down Under. I'm your Aussie host with the most, Patrick, and I'm joined by my usual colleagues in league. Who have we got here tonight? It is Rich, Alan, and Mark Governor. It's always a pleasure to see you, gentlemen. I hope you're doing well.
Good.
Oh, good.
That's the
You
way,
know what?
guys.
This is the first time in probably 2 years I've seen Rich without a cap on, so you can see how much he's receding, which is a lot.
I was going to say that.
Mate. Jesus.
You're not LB's brother, are you?
And
No,
LB's
uncle. LB's uncle. It's poor advertising about Vinto telling you to take the cap off, mate.
He doesn't.
He's not lost for words, is he?
Well, I just
No, he's not. He's just saving
take,
the moment.
Take the hat and glasses off.
I have ordered Vimto, by the way. So
yes,
online. So I've got 6 bottles. I know. Good lad.
Have you, Alan, you know how like sometimes import beers can be a little bit different to like the original. Have you checked to make sure that you're getting 100? I got to play Rule Britannia in the background right now, but 100% no BS, absolute balls to the wall British Rule Britannia Vimto. You're not getting any.
I think
it's not Ribena knockoff or anything like that.
You know what? When I was
think
growing up,
be better
when I was growing up, Vimto was only sold in the north of England. It wasn't sold down south.
Only the northwest of England. It was a Lancashire drink.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. I reckon this Vimto is better than the stuff in the UK now, because last time I was in the UK, a lot of it's got this like fake sugar in and reduced sugar, and it's almost like a reddy colour, not the old purple. Whereas this tastes more like the Vimto I grew up with. So I don't know whether they've got old batch stuff in Australia, whether they still make it with the proper unhealthy amount of sugar and things that
which we won't
allowed in Britain now.
Yeah, we won't.
But I reckon in Britain it's been ruined a bit by the lack of so maybe I'll start exporting Vimto from Australia back to Manchester so people can have it properly.
Funny enough,
I'm not convinced.
I heard on the radio
also known
today,
for having the world's smallest large screen TV.
I heard on the radio today that they try to ban them soft drinks and that for under 16s.
Wow. I would think it's hilarious if you buy If you buy,
I don't know how that'd
energy
work.
drink, yeah, if you buy an energy drink in the UK, you have to, at most places you have to go and effectively get someone to come and look you over, make sure you're 18, because you can't buy Red Bull underage. Like, it's annoying when if you want, you arrive in, you want someone to give you a caffeine hit in the morning when you just arrived from Australia, and you have to wait for someone to come. You can't self-serve yourself a Red Bull.
I mean, when you're that age, though, Rich, you shouldn't have to be relying on like energy drinks to have a boost or anything like that. Like,
Well,
coffee's an acquired taste. Like, some of us didn't start drinking coffee until we were well into our 20s, or even 30s. Some people.
Yeah. But there's have you tried British coffee?
No, because I'm Australian.
Stop! Starbucks is shit.
Yeah, British coffee is like the one thing I'll say. There's only one place I've been in the world where the coffee matches Australian. That's Italy. Like, Australia has bloody great coffee. It does.
Back in the day, coffee wasn't a big thing.
No,
it was just tea.
No, I have tea in the afternoon. I have tea at work. I
have tea all day. All day.
Yeah. Now, before we fall into food and beverage boulevard, I might quickly go and check the chat and just see who's in the building with us this time. Hey?
Yeah, Tetley's all Yorkshire tea.
Tetley's all Yorkshire. I have PG tips in Yorkshire.
Kathy, thank you.
Yeah.
Regarding, all right, she's good.
Before we get into things, can I congratulation who goes to Martin? He may be watching this, I don't know. On being a Manchester United fan on Twitter and being a secret Man United. So to me, all the evidence is there. He is now a Plastic City fan and has Man United connections.
I'm not even going to ask. I'm not even going to.
Have we not seen?
Yeah, I've seen it. I heard him.
Oh, Martin, I'm very, very sorry. But
Kathy, computer's fine now. Got everything, all the demons out of it, so don't worry about that. That's all right.
Yeah, it's spilled Victor on
City
it,
forever. No, Gav, I'm not on the Commodore 64. Wait, which one's older, Commodore or Atari? I can't remember.
I don't know. You got me there.
Don't know. I mean, Atari's.
I just remember the Commodore.
Kathy said she doesn't recognize you, Rich.
I'll go second half. I'll go back.
Recognize the Vimto first. I'm sure of that.
Different. Yeah, you can pretend I'm a different person on the second half. I'll pop the cap and glasses back on.
Amy Lion and Burdock, another northern drink.
Yeah.
My grandma used to get me that. Went down bottles of Dandelion Burdock.
Is that like a beverage version of like Werther's Originals or something? Is it?
So. Alan, does your comment on Martin come because he prefers Ribena to Vimto? And you're a bit suspicious.
I've actually got Ribena here. This is Ribena I've got in here.
That's your dark fruit, your raging alcoholic.
Yeah. You know where Ribena's from. Yeah. You know where Ribena's from, do you, Alan?
No, go on.
Bristol, apparently.
Oh dear. I need to. Well, I've got the Vimto and all the Vimto's
West Country.
When I get the bottles, mate, I'll show you.
Yeah, top notch.
You've in the building, banning energy drinks around the 16s. As I said, mate, I can't really. I never thought of ever drinking energy drink. Well, I mean, when I was 16, you didn't really have that sort of thing, but like, we had enough energy as it was anyway. So, don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah, I heard that they were going to do it, going to ban them, but I don't know they're going to play.
How are you, love? Hope you're well. Thank you. Sarah's coming. Atari is older. Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. To be fair, when we had our soft drinks when we were kids, they had so much colouring and sugar and stuff in them that they were energy drinks anyway. They didn't need added guarana and caffeine. You got so much of that orange colouring and so much sugar, you were like basically tripping.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen it now.
What the hell?
I've just sent it to him. Martin's following Manchester United. Proof is there.
Jeez.
Plastic ban. Plastic ban. Disgraceful.
He's made a state.
No wonder he's asked me to host a show once a week now.
Yeah,
I heard him say it as well, yeah.
Yeah, he got Daps laid into him big time.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Steve Lewis has sent it around nearly everyone.
Do we want to talk about Brighton? Because even though I've only seen about the first half of it, I can't really be asked. It's been a weird few days. I've kind of made my peace with it because I just want to quickly say a few things about it, and I think we'll go to a bit of an analysis on the last day of the transfer window, because I know we'll want to say a bit about certain players that have left and players coming in and things like that. But look, I just want to quickly say some things about the Brighton match. For me, I did feel like at times it was rinse and repeat of a lot of what we did last season.
Correct.
Looking good for certain parts, tactically looking sound, but then sort of just falling back into our shell once we got a bit of a lead, and the thing that I really missed from previous seasons, and this is going back to treble and 4 in a row seasons, is I always had this sense that when we got the first goal, you knew that if anybody was going to score a second one, it would be us. You knew it. And it just feels like there's so much effort and anxiety put in to try and get that goal, to get the lead in that when we do it, we just sort of lose a lot of focus on how to do that again. We lose our mojo in terms of being an attacking team and being attack-minded and things like that. And I just think the longer we keep playing like that, the more it allows teams to come back and get us. And Brighton did the right things. From what I heard, Brighton did the right things at the right time that second half. Again, Alan, I haven't seen all of it yet, but
yeah.
But for me, it's like, for me, the only thing I'm right now is I'm okay with it is because I feel like right now we're drawing sort of parallels to the start of. You remember that the coming out of COVID season when we start the first season we won about 4 in a row. Remember how we came in with an on-off schedule after COVID and everything like that, and we barely had a pre-season. We'd barely done anything. The players were just getting back to, bonding sessions, after being isolated for so long and all that sort of stuff. And you remember when we came out of the box, I think we actually, weirdly enough, we played Wolves away. And we looked okay. We played a decent sort of game. But then once we came up against a team who had actually been prepping and getting themselves ready for the season, we really got slapped around. Everybody remembers the 5-2 against Leicester. They were a team that was just ready, set, and ready to start the season, while we were a team that was, couldn't even find first gear, basically. I get a feeling that we're doing a little bit of that over the last week to 10 days, maybe. So, yes, I'm disappointed at the performance. I'm disappointed at what happened, the outcome and everything like that. But I think I'm ready. I'll be ready to come down, not to bring the axe down, but to start being a bit more critical about the way we're playing if this still continues when we play United, when we play Arsenal, and when we play Napoli. Because I feel that this team right now is dying to start playing every 3 days. I think when we start playing every 3 days, that match fitness, that form will come, and then we'll start to click. But we're doing the way we're starting the season is starting the season in a way that we haven't done for a long time. Yes, we're limited in the preseason, but the fixtures from last season to this season made things a bit different in terms of how players were ready to start and stop, ready to stop and then start again. And so, yes, again, disappointed, but I feel like if this continues after the international break, then I'm really going to come down hard on the team.
Yeah,
I think Alan, you just said, but as I say, every 3 days, I think we'll play ourselves into form, basically.
I'd change one bit of your analysis, Pat. We didn't drop off when we scored. The game changed when they made 4 substitutes in one hit. Changed the way they played completely. We didn't react to that, and we gave them control of the game. And once they got that, the energy and momentum was all with them, and we didn't manage to change back. So I'm going to give credit to Brighton for changing the game, not our players for dropping off. We could have scored again after the goal. Yeah. And we were basically great for an hour, dominated, should have been up by more than 1, really bossed the game. They made 4 changes in one hit, changed the way they played. I think particularly this early in the season before people are, really in their stride and fully match fit, that just flipped the game on its head. And almost from that second on, Brighton dominated the game, and we didn't manage to get the initiative back. And the sad thing was, the game changed. We made a few changes after that, but whatever we did, we couldn't get the initiative back and the dominance.
Do you know what struck me? You know what struck me? When we went 1 each, when they got back and went 1 each, it was crying out because Rodri was tired. You could see that, right?
Yeah, he was tired.
What was crying out, the players that were coming on were young lads with no experience. And it was crying out for a Kovacic.
And most of our game changes weren't there.
And because those types of players with the experience they have would have slowed the game down, hold the ball, kept it. You know, I hate to say this, Grealish would have got the ball and dragged it up the field and slowed it down.
Yeah, we could have. It's a game where we could have done with the likes of Foden and Kovacic, because Kovacic could have come on for Rodri, and he put a bit of drive in midfield, and he'd have been all right. Foden would have given us a bit more grunt coming on up front. Not that Bob had a bad game again, but I just think Ozzy calls it before the game. He said we were lacking a bit of our attacking quality on the bench, and we lacked the energy. Yeah, I'm glad. But fair play to their manager. You know, he's young. He's a kid, and he took a bold move with 4 substitutes that early and changing up the game.
I'm glad we chat on a Wednesday, because at least we calmed down by then. Pat, you really don't want to watch that second half.
No.
From that game, you look at the subs. Nico G, Gundo, O'Reilly, Lewis, Edison, Ake, Diaz, Akanji and Doku. And 3 of them players left the next day on the bench. We've got nothing up front there. Only Nico G could have come on, and he didn't come on. He should have come on for one of the subs. Our subs did nothing.
Yeah. We're supposed to have Cherky will be out about 6-8 weeks, but we should have Foden and Savinho.
Martin's hit the nail on the head. We've got an injury crisis already. We had 3 games.
I was just going to say that. What's going on? 10 injuries in 3 games.
10.
Well, most of them were before the season. Yeah.
What's going on?
We've got an injury crisis like last year already. And I want to know why these players are getting injured.
And I believe, didn't he find out Ain't Nore was injured?
Yeah.
And they played him.
With an injection.
Yeah. That's bad. That's like that was like the Arsenal, wasn't it? Yeah. Same thing. They let him play injured.
Yeah.
And he was off in a minute. That's bad news, that.
Well,
yeah.
You know,
I mean, I don't get it when I get it when it's a choice. Like last season, we made some bad choices, and we chose between, playing, let's say an injured Diaz or an injured Akanji versus playing a 17-year-old from the academy. The fact is that we didn't need to play out Nori. Ake could play. So we don't need to take any chances with players at the moment, because especially at the back we've got, Nick O'Reilly played, the last 15 games last season at left back, and we've got Ake. So why do we need to risk out Nori when he could have, taken that week off?
O'Reilly should have gone there.
Break off. Yeah, exactly.
Should have put O'Reilly there.
Two choices. Two choices.
Okay, as well, yeah. I mean, the others, they were leaving. So, and then Nico G should have come on in the middle for Rodri. Rodri should have come off after 60, but I don't think Pep could afford to take him off the way we were playing.
We were awful second half. To me, I'm sorry, but to me, when he brought kids on, when it was a crucial part of the game at 1 each, it needed old heads to fucking slow it down and get control again.
Oh no, Alan, the Unks are responsible. The Unks are responsible for all our problems. We're letting the online outside, UK fans on Twitter.
How are we going to explain the loss against the Rags? How are we going to put it down to Gundogan? We're going to find a way to somehow put it down to Gundogan.
Everything's Akanji and Gundogan's fault, and Bernardo's, and it's the Unks.
Well, it'll be the youngsters.
Youngsters
fault.
Yeah, Unks or Younks. Yeah,
youngsters.
I've got a feeling that we're going to end up with Kovacic playing a much bigger part in this season than anyone thought.
Oh yeah, we're missing him at the moment. We're missing him.
Yeah,
big time.
Because
big time.
I think
it might be like last season where Gundo, and Kovo were playing too many games when we couldn't, where they were supposed to come on at the end and finish games off, but they ended up playing more games than they should.
Yeah.
If
it weren't for Gundo at the end of the
season.
If he were for Gundo at the end of the season, we wouldn't have made a Champions League. He was brilliant at the end of the season last year.
Yeah. And I think the other thing is, I think it was Daps who pointed this out, was actually when Rodri got injured, we still had a few good performances after that with Kovacic playing there. And it was when Kovacic got injured and we had no Kovacic, no Rodri, that was when we fell off a cliff. So we could do with getting Kovacic back, because then we can give a bit of a rest to Rodri, so he's not playing all the time. He's a granddad. He's a great Uncle Milner. That's 23 years between
39 years of age. You've got to give it.
He's the second youngest to score in the Premier League, and he's now the oldest to score in the Premier League.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
It just says that if you're really boring, you're going to stay really healthy and live very long.
Yeah.
If you're really exciting, like you're drinking everything, like George Best, you finished at 25. If you're Milner, he's still going at 39, and he might well get another goal when he's 40.
Look, I don't want to sit on the Brighton game too much. What was said needed to be said about from everybody over the last few days, but that's just my 2 cents about it. But I've got to be honest with you, just from what I've seen, what I've heard from everybody, it's just I can't wait for us to start playing every 3 days. I really can't, because sooner or later it's going to play us into form, and I just hope it happens sooner rather than later. I just wish we weren't going to have to go and try and play ourselves into form against United and Arsenal and some of those games. It's going to be the set of games we have after the break aren't the ideal set of games to play yourself into form. That's the reality.
With the 2 second halves that we played, the 2 second halves that don't know what was going on. Do you think there's between Pep 1 and Pep 2, right? Do you think there's a bit of a brain overload?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It just seems the second halves, there's nothing about them. I can't understand the way they play in second halves.
Yeah, do you think it's partly though that we had 2 weeks? Everyone said we're going to have a real problem at the start of the season because of the Club World Championship. We came back 2 weeks before the season. Every other team bar Chelsea came back 6 weeks. Do you think perhaps we have a real issue that we are the second half, we're dropping off the cliff in terms of intensity and fitness because we're not at the level the other teams are yet? We're 4 weeks behind. So
I reckon catching up.
4 to 6 weeks into the season, we'll catch them up. So that shouldn't be an excuse once we get back from the international break, perhaps. But I suspect we're nowhere near as matched up. I noticed it particularly against Spurs. I thought they were just sharper, stronger, more ready for it than us.
Saying that though, Rich. We
dominated for an hour. Yeah.
So that means Chelsea should be worse than us. Going off pre-season.
Yeah, except they've got a bunch of 20-year-olds playing for them. Possibly, but they've got that. They're a very, very young side, Chelsea, even compared to what we've put on the park the last 2 weeks.
Massive squad, and they've got a more favourable start to the season, possibly. So
everyone has the same.
You got to factor those in. You got to factor those things in as well.
They haven't got a matter. Yeah. We've got a squad of 24 people or whatever in the Premier League. Chelsea. Everyone says Chelsea massive squad, but everyone's squad's between 21 and 25. So
the one thing they've got more than we have is they've got balance in the side, and we've had 2 years to solve. We still haven't fucking signed one. 2 years.
Yeah. A what?
It's trying out, innit? Right back.
Yeah, but
2 years.
Do you know what?
I know, but
do you know what?
It's trying out.
We won in the Centurion season. We won a 4-peat and we won a treble without a left back. Now, the reality is everyone is pinning their excuse on the right back. We've won everything there is to win in world football without a left back. So I think fans are pinning everything on that. That's not the only problem. If we
Yeah,
were
but we
playing
had a
right
different
across the
caliber of
pitch,
player then.
we did in some ways. I'm not sure. I don't think the caliber of player is dramatically lower today. We haven't
Nunes
got
is
Prada
crap.
Gunda and it'll take time. Yeah, but
Nunes.
Fabian Delph, Nunes is a better player than Fabian Delph. And Fabian Delph, we got 100 points. We were playing Akanji right back half the time when we won the Champions League and won the treble. I don't think Nunes is much worse right back than Akanji. So,
Yeah, but then at that time, the players are on point. They were good.
Yeah. It was
Well,
form. I think a lot of it's confidence.
I don't know.
I was saying it to someone today. If you look at the whole of world football, we will get, football is won by the spine. Your goalkeeper, your centre backs, your number 6, and your number 9. The spine. We've arguably got the best.
You need one standout defender too in that spine too, Rich. For me, it'd probably be Gvardiol right now, but he's injured.
Yeah. Gvardiol's the best young centre back on the planet, and if Stones stays fit, he's as good as anyone, right? We've got the best number 6 in the world. We've got the best number 9 in the world, and we've probably got the guy who's going to be shortly awarded the best goalkeeper in the world. So we've got real strength in that spine. And if Gvardiol and Stones play together fit, that's an incredible spine. That's better than anyone else in the Prem. So we've got to, we've got to get our mentality and confidence back, because I think the biggest problem at the moment is we haven't built our confidence back from last season, and we're doing things at 90% of the level we should do because we're not quite confident enough to make the pass quick enough to be quite as intense as we should be. And we need a run of a few wins and a couple of really good performances, and that'll flip. And you watch PSG last season, that was them. They were terrible till Grealish put us 2-0 up. And from that moment, then they pulled the 2 goals back and then got the winner. They were virtually, I don't know if they lost again that season. I think they might have lost 1 game after beating City. They were just unbelievable. But they were not good before that point. They were throwing away points in the league. They'd had some poor performances in Europe. They did not look a decent side. But once they got their confidence, they flew through the rest of the season and probably had one of the best 4 or 5 months we've seen from a European team.
Yep.
And we've got to get that happening for us. Shout
out to Amar. Mar's always in the chat. Mate, with thanks for your £2 super chat. He disagrees with you, Rich, saying Nunes is not better than my nan. Forget Delph.
Yeah, but his nan is pretty bloody good. I played against her, and she can tackle like Claude Makelele.
Does she have a sweet right foot, so that makes her Martin's arch nemesis?
Oh no, she'd run rings around Martin. She is an absolute beast. She's a Makelele. So
she doesn't moonlight as a fan of United.
If she could sign, then she'd be straight in the side alongside Roderick.
Yep.
Well, all I can say is Nunes.
Luke Pabbers doesn't think Nunes is the same level as Delph.
He's a tram driver.
Delph had one miracle. Delph had one miracle season.
DJ Ken thinks Delph was better. Who else was there?
He was.
Nunes is a tram driver. Delph is the conductor.
How would we feel about Calvin Phillips playing right back?
Oh, mate. Can he play right fullback?
Interesting. He could have been named in our European squad, and we didn't. So we didn't even name him when we had a free hit. So I think.
I don't know. Yeah. Amar agrees. I think this is Alan's burner account, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's the same level as misery.
I'm getting Tim to give Alan a slap when Alan is reading about tram drivers, so I'll get Tim to go and sort out Amar as well.
Yeah.
Or I'll phone Amar's nan and have a word with her about what he's doing, and she'll give him a clip round the ear.
Yeah. Well, hang on. Well, if you're talking about that, then we all know what Amar's nan looks like. Then, don't we? Don't we, Rich?
I'm making no comment.
No. because you bloody put it on the group chat.
Oh yes, yeah. You put that up on your face the other day. Yeah.
I saw that, you bastard.
Yeah,
No,
it's
amazing, your
amazing.
mate. We appreciate your feedback.
That was
Thanks
all
for being a
Pat,
good
Alan.
sport, mate.
Yeah,
that was all Alan.
Yeah,
all Pat.
Oh God.
No, funny
The
times,
black
guys.
and white days then, was it?
As long as you're not spending me Dan Andrews in the
It was in the black and white days.
Oh,
No black and white then.
Yeah.
No.
No colour, sorry.
No.
I'm surprised your glasses aren't on one of those little chain links, Alan. Yeah.
To be fair, though, I'm never sure which one Alan is. Is he kind of the is he the Ina Sharples, or is he the Hilda Ogden, or is he the what was her name, Nora Batty of the show? But he's definitely
Nora Batty.
You're showing your age, Rich.
Nora Batty, yeah.
As Martin said in that show, he said Alan's like he's old school City fan and just wants every player to be from being Mancunian and wants to get back in that main road. Well, Martin, spot on.
What Alan really longs for is when we had 4 managers in one season, because he loves calling for a manager to be sacked, and he loves a manager to get sacked. I reckon, Alan, that year when we had Phil Neal and Steve Coppell and Frank Clark, you must have been in absolute heaven when we're sacking the manager every couple of weeks. God, we need the manager out.
Jimmy Frizzell.
Manager out. Neal out. Oh, he's gone. A week later. Coppell out. He's gone.
Coppell.
Mate,
BBC Northwest outside Main Road. Alan be doing bloody backflips.
Well, I was outside Main Road, main stand, singing Swales Out with the barriers stopping him from getting at him, killing.
Yeah.
He destroyed City. He really did.
Yeah. Look, we'll close off what we were saying about Brighton. What's said needs to be said by everybody anyway. But obviously, I think we'll move on to the end of the transfer window, of course, happened on Monday. And I know we had a big old show. Ozzy ran that, and a few others were on as well too. Big up to you guys. Everybody was a part of that. I saw it went for nearly 3 hours as well. So, if anybody stayed up past their bedtime for that one, big up to you. Appreciate all the support. But I thought we'd just quickly talk about, the outgoings, because, we still, even though the window closes at a certain time, there's still business going on, as long as everything's done by a certain cutoff point, basically, or basically teams are at a certain level of the transfer business going through.
Well,
but
Turkey has 2 more weeks.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah, which we'll get to. And actually, while you talk about that, that's a good transition, because Turkey's 2 biggest clubs, Fenerbahce and Galatasaray, have taken 2 of our mainstay senior players. It's sad to say,
that was a weird one, wasn't it?
Everybody from our Centurion squad is just about out the door now. Apart from Bernardo, apart from Johnny Stones, I think that's just about it, really. Edison off the Fenerbahce ended up getting about €12 million for him, so we're roughly about the same as what we'd been valuing him at. I think we're trying to get about 15 million, but Galatasaray's lost because they were fart-assing around for so long, trying to get
that was a weird one, that, wasn't it?
Comes in and bang, just gives us pretty much close to the money that we wanted. But I think I don't know. I don't know if I'm in agreement with everybody here, but I do feel sad that the manner in which a player that's given so much over 8 years for us has gone in this way. It's very, very sad, very disappointing. But we all wish him the best. And guys, I want to get your thoughts about what you think about Edison.
He's a legend. He's going to be, when we talk about the greatest goalkeepers, City have had, we're going to be talking about Edison alongside, maybe Joe Hart, certainly Joe Corrigan, certainly Bert Troutman, Frank Swift. He's a City legend. He changed the way we played. He was the first name on the team sheet, and I think the most picked player by Pep in the Premier League, at least. He's a legend. I think it's sad. It's not just his exit. I think really, since the Champions League final, Edison has been half out the door. He perhaps overvalued himself. If rumours are to be true that he thought he should be getting 300 a week, but City certainly undervalued him because he was on one of the lower salaries. So I think that broke trust between player and club and player, and I don't think he's been quite as good since the Champions League final. So it's kind of sad that we've seen him deteriorate a little, even though he's still probably not even at his prime age-wise. And it's sad it broke down a bit like that and had to end the way it did, because he deserved a standing ovation in front of the City crowd. The same's true of Gundogan, but Gundogan's left twice. So Gundogan kind of had the fairy tale ending with the Champions League, and in some ways probably wishes that was the end of his career at City, because his exit the second time isn't perfect, and his exit the first time was perfect. Captain your team in a Champions League to win the treble, and then you drop your mic and you leave. That was the most perfect exit. Even better than Vinny's exit. And it's just a pity that we didn't get someone else last summer, a bit younger, and not have Gundo back, because Gundo's been really disrespected this season, and it's really irritated me. Gundo is one of the best players to ever play for Manchester City. Gundo has been responsible for some of the biggest moments in the club's history. He's been responsible for, I think for me, the peak of Gundogan was that 19-game, winning run? 2019, we won 15 games or something to win the league, and we had injuries, and Gundo was absolutely key. And then Gundo, when we had injuries, a couple of seasons later, he came in and he got 10 goals in 15 games and turned the season around and won us the title. He scored goals on the last day of the season to win us the title when we were 2-0 down at home, and he captained us to the treble. So I think Gundo's an absolute legend. I think some of the comments about him this season, some of the disparaging remarks about him as an uncle, were utterly uncalled for. And, to the point where, and I think this was one of the most, I'd love to go back and see who was making the comments, but when we lost to Al Hilal, Gundogan got subbed straight after the second goal, and we had fans on there blaming him for the third and fourth goal and slagging him off, even though it was Reinders who was playing at number 6, not Gundogan, and Gundogan wasn't even on the pitch for 2 of the goals when our midfield was wide open. But there's a group of fans who were just hammering him, and he deserved better. And that he's gone.
Yeah, I'll say to Gundo and Edison, I wish them all the very best. The pair of them are City legends. End of story. Gundo was Pep's first signing, and Gundo is one of the main reasons we won so many trophies. Fact. And he was also the captain of our treble-winning season and lifted the European Cup. He scored after 15 seconds at Wembley against the Rag Bastards.
I've never laughed as much in my life.
Brilliant, yeah. He scored he scored crucial goals against Aston Villa in that we came back to win that game, which was unbelievable. He drove us to success. Every single season we played with Gundo in midfield, he drove us to success.
And he's up there for me with De Bruyne,
as one of the best players ever.
With Silva, with Company, Aguero. Gundo is up there in their company on their level. No doubt.
And I'll say something now. Edison changed the way we played, because obviously Pep plays in a different way to anybody else. So your young lads that have grown up seeing City win, Edison has been one of the best things that's ever happened to the club. So it was I wouldn't say he was the best shot stopper in the world, but he's certainly the best with his feet, without any doubt.
But when we needed him,
we took that on board when we signed him. We knew what we were getting.
When we Champions League final, it's such stopping when we really needed it. It was amazing.
I know. I just want to say to the pair of them, they've both gone to Turkey, so they're probably having dinner together anyway, either at the separate clubs. Thank you to the pair of them, big time. And you are both City legends forever.
Both legends. Wasn't nice the way Edison left with the socials and that. I think that's why he just wanted to get out. But that's, you know, that's another story. Gundo,
but it,
like
it wasn't every City fan that did that. It's just knobheads.
No, I think what it is, the generations out. I think we appreciate things more. It's the generations that have only seen us winning. I think they're the ones that jump on the bandwagon right away. Whereas we appreciate it. We've seen, you know, we've been there, done it, been down the bottom. Yeah, that's it. But we appreciate all that more. Where this new generation coming through, I think they're the ones that, you know, they're the ones that are doing it.
Yeah, I agree.
Not the old guard.
No,
that's fair. That's fair.
I think
I've seen the video on Gundo, and he actually said his best goal that he ever scored for the club was Aston Villa. The Villa goal.
Yeah, the other thing in it, you know, he's obviously not anywhere near the same league as those two, but ultimately, when we're looking back in the history books of the club, when we watch that 2023 final, we're going to see Akanji there as well. So Akanji's put his name in City history. He's not in the same level by any means as Edison, 6 titles he's got, and Gundogan the same. But you know, Akanji's going to be there. Started in that Champions League final, and you know, you watch the goal, and we're going to see Akanji, you know, forever associated with the club. And we signed him for next to nothing. He came in, he had 2 brilliant seasons. The third season, you know, obviously problematic with injury and stuff, but he's made an impact on the club as well. And you know, I wish him well. You know, he's not gonna. We're not going to be talking about him for statues and stuff like Edison and Gundogan, but you know, he's still there. He's got a place in our history.
He helped set up the. He helped set up the winning goal in the Champions League final. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, that's what we're going to see. You know.
Just quickly, big up. We've got a new member, Martin McNeil, who is a good friend of. I believe if it is the Martin McNeil, we know it is. A good friend of myself and Rich, and we'll look forward to having him on the show soon. So, we'll see.
You know what? Yep, I noticed. Sorry, Pat, I've got to say this.
I'm going to say you.
Plastic rag fan.
Yeah.
You're not going to live that down, Martin.
Oh, mate. Hey, when Steve Lewis sent me that, I was killing myself laughing.
As soon as he said that, Daps was on it right away.
Oh, I know. I was killing myself. I saw that today and I was laughing.
Anyway.
Martin's agent's made a statement. So just, you know.
Agent. Rich, I've only noticed how small you really are when you look at the photos. I didn't realise you were that tiny.
Why do you think I'm sitting down? Well, if someone, whenever photos with him, I'm always sitting down. Well, he tells me to sit down.
Anyway, no, that was a load of BS, that United stuff. Move on.
Plastic.
Anyway, you look at that when you was talking about the Champions League final. You look at that bench and look at our bench today.
Oh.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah,
we're starting again, mate. We're starting again.
Yeah, I think we have to reset it all, don't we? Yeah, that's just how it feels. Look, I think, and I've said this before. I think with Edison, it's from day one we knew that we were going to get a footballer who was going to be absolutely spectacular with his feet, just a midfielder, a quality midfielder with gloves, basically. But at the same time, too, we weren't going to get a Joe Hart, were we, in terms of a shot stopper? We were willing, and I tell you what, after about that first season, I think we were willing to make that compromise. You know, to realize that this was a completely different way we were going with the way football was being played, not just the club itself, you know, with Pep coming in, but just football in England, basically. You know, we'd never seen anything like this before with a ball playing goalkeeper, and, you know, how much fluidity is basically played around defense and how important a ball playing goalkeeper is for playing out the back as well. And as time goes on now, it's you could almost say that Edison's responsible now for this next generation of keepers that are going to come through, especially in England now, where there's going to be as much emphasis and as much focus now on what they do with their feet as much as what they do with their gloves. And we can thank Edison for everything that he did, but you got to remember too, I think in that treble season, we don't realize how important he was. It's like, yes, our defense was great all through that competition. I believe we only conceded like 5 goals over the entire Champions League campaign that season. And that's all well and good if you got a good defense. But at the end of the day, what keeps the numbers low is a good goalkeeper. And he was brilliant for us in that season, in that Champions League. He was absolutely unreal. And I think
am I right in saying, sorry, Pat, am I right in saying Edison, when he was a kid, he was a winger?
I believe so. You know, Ruben Diaz used to be a striker when he was a junior at Benfica. They all start somewhere else. Yeah.
That's probably why.
Yeah. So we'll see.
We owe at the end of the day, we owe Akanji, Edison, and Gundo a hell of a lot. We should remember them with a good heart and say that they are heroes to us, legends and heroes. End of story. And anyone starts slagging them off, go support fucking Chelsea. Jesus Christ, please.
No, they don't want to support Chelsea. They'll pull it.
Other clubs aren't available. Other clubs aren't available.
All right, Man United.
Accept them.
Don't give Martin another reason now.
Yeah. No. To be fair, I think
I've already jumped ship.
often,
I'm not plastic. I've fucked off already.
Martin hankers. Martin's like an unk, and he hankers for when City were crap. And the closest thing in the Premier League to Manchester City,
no, I don't. Do you know what?
It's probably United.
No, stop, Rich. You're adding fuel. I do not want us to be crap. I'm not anchoring us to be crap.
Yeah, but United are like City used to be.
From?
They spend lots of money and play like absolute crap. That's how City were.
Tell you what I want.
Back in the day.
I'll tell you what I want. And this is me being
what
old.
you really want. No, tell us what you want.
Yeah.
What you really want.
I want City to win, but I want us to all act like, friendly, laugh, have a bit of banter. It's all too serious now. Everyone wants to have a fight with each other when we lose a sodding game.
Old City was we had laughs when we lost 4-0 to someone.
That's right.
And
that's what I'm saying about the generation.
Then it became a part where it was like we'd win games 5-0 and we'd still be as fun. Or we'd be
still want to win.
We'd be like, we got lucky or something like that.
But honestly, some of those, some of my funniest games in my life were when we were rubbish. I remember at West Brom we lost 4-0. I think Simon Colosimo played, and most of the fans spent half the second half
underrated
doing an early version of the Poznan with the back to the game dancing disco dance. I mean, it's just like ridiculous. And like I remember being at the last ever game we played. It may have been the last ever game at Elm Park, and we lost 3. They scored 3. I think probably 3-0. And there were these Blues near me, pissed off their heads, and they turned around and they were stargate the whole of the second half. They're there going, "Oh look, there's Taurus. There's Orion," and they were just shouting absolute nonsense about players. And to be honest, they didn't have a clue what they were looking at because they'd just been seeing these blurry white things in the sky. And they for 45 minutes they sat there stargazing and ignoring the game. Yeah, there's a little dipper.
There's a big dipper.
There's an ion.
I just saw Sagittarius.
There's the plough.
It was brilliant. I mean, that was half, and it was better than the football. To be fair, I did spend a fair chunk looking up and checking it out because it was better than the football.
Great guys.
It was funny.
Have you all noticed, by the way, Ortega's been added into the Champions League squad?
Yeah. What's going on? What's going on with our academy depth? I mean, our goalkeeping depth is bloody.
Ortega's in the Champions League squad.
So, because Akanji and Gundo both went, we had one spot, so they may as well put him in.
I think Bettinelli's injury has caused us to ask him to stay. I think. Yeah.
Maybe, but don't you think it's ironic that Fenerbahce tried to sign him? Fenerbahce tried to sign him. He turned them down, and then they go and get Edison.
And Edison's gone down.
And he doesn't turn them down. Go figure.
Yeah. Martin, what's your... I made the point before, Martin, about these injuries. What do you think?
Who's injuries?
Everyone.
The 10 injuries we've got.
Oh, we're in the wars at the moment.
What's going on here?
I don't frigging know. I don't know how we've gone 3 games in and we've got an injury crisis. It's either lack of pre-season and it's backfiring on us, or
which is what I said. I'm playing
the
7 days.
trainings. And the training's too intense. It's one of the two. Either the training's changed, or this is just a lack of pre-season coming back to us.
And the trouble is, we don't even know.
2020, when we went into 2020, Martin, we had no pre-season. We got slapped by Leicester. Match day 2.
Yeah. The only thing that makes me think training is because Bettinella, Turka, got injured in training. None of them got injured. Gavardio, I don't know when he got injured. Someone said Club World Cup, but
I think
I don't know when he
I thought he had a niggle for playing for Croatia before the Club World Cup.
Well, I remember seeing photos of Gavardio before he came back to training. He was off doing bloody paintball or something over in Croatia, which in that part of the world, for all I know, they probably use live ammunition because they're bloody hardcore as hell. So God knows what kind of injury he could have if he was doing that in that part of the world. Bloody hell.
It's just a bit questionable.
Who does Nori play for?
Algeria.
Algeria. It was the Algerian FA who confirmed he was still injured. And I'm like, so we've clearly just injected him on Sunday and go out there.
That's crazy. That's just crazy.
Why are we taking these risks?
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Is he trying to
when you've got O'Reilly and Ake
to make sure they don't go international then?
That's right. You've got Ake and O'Reilly there.
Rather just play you and keep you here because
I just don't get it.
Well, you watch now. You watch now. John Stones is going off with England, and he's guaranteed to get injured. Guaranteed.
Yeah.
You can't. No.
No, but we had 2 people on the bench on Sunday. No, we have 3 people on the bench on Sunday.
Yeah.
Where's he gone? We have 3 people on the bench on Sunday.
That's company policy, Martin.
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't even know it. We had Gundogan, Akanji, Edison.
The next day.
We have Akanji, Edison, and Gundogan all on a bench who all knew they were leaving.
Yep,
crazy.
That's crazy. That is crazy in a Premier League 2025 to have 3 of your bench know that they're leaving the next day.
Yeah, I just don't get it.
How crazy is that?
What's going on there? Like,
just baffling me. It's baffling.
So we've gone from a big squad down to a squad of 20, 21 with, 4 keepers. So you're down to 21. Lewis, O'Reilly. So you're at 19. So you're really about 18, 19 proper first team players.
So we are, Martin. What if them 3 had gone before the Brighton game? Who would be on the bench then?
I would have been.
I think that's why he had Mikasa. Sure. Well, I think that's why he had. Didn't he have Mikasa?
I was talking about 4 academy players. We're going to travel down or something.
There was Mikado, Heskim, and Mikasa who were all.
You'd have to do, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So I think they were ready to be called up.
Yeah. No. Yeah, look,
everyone wanted the Unks out. Everyone wanted the Unks gone.
Yeah. Well, it had to happen sometime, didn't it, really?
Yeah. We can't have all of them, but we got some of them. So it keeps that part of the family.
No, it just tells you, really, and this is where I will agree now.
No, it just means their agenda will move to somebody else. You know it is.
We planned this so poorly. It should never get to a stage where 7, 8, 9 players all need to go in one go. We've never done that. We've normally, and Rich has pointed this out for many years now, we've always been proactive. We've never been reactive. And we've suddenly become very reactive and gone, we've never done this 8, 9 out. Yeah, when they come to the end of the contracts, we understand, but we've never sold this many like this.
Man, if we're 8, 9 out, it usually is over the course of 3 summers.
Yeah, it's just
not 2 weeks in one window. Yeah, no.
Well, for me,
and that's why I think Echeverri will get recalled in January, probably no doubt. And Taze will probably get recalled. Because we'll probably be in a situation we need them.
Yeah. Just for me, for a second, guys. Sorry, Foggy's come in with 10 gifted memberships. Big up to Foggy as always. You know, huge contributor to the channel.
I don't know.
If you've got a membership for Foggy, of course, give him big thanks and W's in the chat for him. You're an absolute legend, mate. Thank you so much. Yeah. Sorry, guys, carry on.
Can I just say one thing? One of you talking, that's it. Not interrupting, please. Off you go,
Gotcha.
Mark.
Alan lecturing us on. Sorry, Nora lecturing us on there.
Nora.
After all the years of Alan's like, he's
there's only one angry
that is
bastard.
a moment. I want you to clip that and put it on the Alan collage.
With you saying that,
Well,
Martin,
Oscar Bobson.
with you saying that, Martin, this window, obviously we should have got a right back and we should have got a centre back for the people that are going to be leaving next season.
You
know what I mean?
Well, I think we need to. Yeah, the right back should be January. We need to be looking. I do expect us. Oh well, I think we should make some moves in January now. Hopefully, we are looking now. I don't know whether we are or we're not, but hopefully we are. We'll see. I don't know.
We've got a foreign slot, which Ortega goes, and we can sign a player. It doesn't have to be English. So we got a.
Something don't feel right at the minute. I don't know. Can't put my finger on it. Something don't feel right. But listen, I'm still think we'll have decent season. We'll see. It is what it is. Really.
I think we will. I just think that it's totally unrealistic to expect we can recover from a season like last season, change about 7 players, and start playing like Prime 23. I think it's going to be post-Christmas before we're going to see City back to anything like the best. And, I didn't want to see us go, I didn't want to see us go on playing like we did last season to try and win the league by passing the ball 793 times horizontally across the opposition box, controlling the game, and some of the most, boring football we've ever seen at City. It was effective, but we had to change it. So I think we have to accept till maybe January. We've got to, stay in touch, get as many good games or more good games than we have bad games, and then see if we can take off in January, because, that's when the season's going to be started. And, Palace did us a massive favour, because, whilst everyone's saying Liverpool's invincible, they could have lost all 3 league games they played. I thought Newcastle were better than for large chunks. I thought Bournemouth were better. And Arsenal almost were afraid. Arsenal kind of controlled large parts of the game, but they looked like they wanted a 0-0 draw. It was a bit like when Arsenal came, was it 24 season, when they came just to draw at City? And that cost them the league. Yeah, that cost them the league. And it looks like Arteta has still got that mentality. So, and Liverpool are now 1 centre-back injury away from a massive crisis, because they don't have a defensive CDM. They've got 2 centre-backs who are world-class, and one of them gets injured. Palace did us a massive favour keeping Gray, because Liverpool are not strong at the back now, apart from 2 centre-backs, one of whom's 34.
Yeah. Yeah.
And speaking of centre-backs too, thoughts on Akanji, guys? I mean, he's gone on loan to Inter for €2 million. Inter will pay us 15 million if he plays 50% of the Serie A matches and they win the Serie A title. It's a chance. I think Napoli is a team to beat in Serie A. But do you think it's decent business, or would you rather try to go to a club who may have paid a fraction less and we get him out the door?
I think it was Akanji's choice. Seems Akanji didn't want to move. Certain clubs did it.
Do you think wages might have been a factor of that? I mean, since we signed him, he's been on 180k a week. It's a bit more than I was always expecting.
He wanted a Champions League club.
Of course, yeah.
He turned down AC Milan. He turned down Palace. Tottenham, I don't think, actually made an official bid. But
I wouldn't pay the
City
wages
would ever
anyway,
do business.
Martin. I think only like 2 or
Yeah.
3 players are on like over 180k.
So,
Yeah.
you know, he didn't want to go to Turkey. So it is what it is. He's ended up at Inter Milan because he's got his. But what was weird about the Inter Milan move was, didn't they just sell a 28-year-old or something, or loan a 28-year-old and then bring in a 29-year-old? So I don't know, because even some Inter Milan fans are a bit. But it's up to Akanji, you know. This is the thing. He had, 2 years left in his deal? I think there's an obligation to buy in there for 13 million.
Yeah.
15 if they.
Yeah.
Well, probably an extra
Yeah,
13, but yeah, but they said the
Yeah.
requirements are they have to win
Yeah.
the Serie A and he has to play 50% of the matches.
Yeah. What we don't know is how bad Bettinelli's injury was, because if we had have kept Akanji and named him, we couldn't have named Ortega. So it's possible that Ortega wasn't going to go, full stop, because he didn't want to, or we needed Ortega in that squad, and therefore we had to push a bit harder on Akanji out the door, because we named 17 foreign players in our Champions League squad. So maybe we needed Ortega. So if Akanji had stayed, he wouldn't have been in the Champions League squad.
Yeah, because what's really annoying, Kushinov and Savinio don't class as foreign for us at the minute, but they class as foreign in the Champions League, don't they?
Yeah, because Premier League it's under
Really
21.
weird.
In the Champions League,
Yeah.
they have to be with you for 2 years before 21 and under 21.
Yeah.
Akanji,
It's going to be
15,
intriguing.
based off what we got for him from when we bought him from Borussia Dortmund, do you think pound for pound wise, in terms of what we paid, probably one of the best signings we've made in the Pep era? Because I think he doesn't get the credit he deserves, because for what we paid for him, and considering it was a last minute signing, when you think about it, he went from
It's one of the best.
He went from being on the
deep
fringes at
signings.
Dortmund to, by the end of the treble season, probably our second choice centre back, maybe our third.
Yeah,
when you think about it, because John Stones was doing more than being a centre back.
Pound for pound, I'd still put Walker, Stones, Haaland, lots of the players above him. They may have cost 3 times as much, but they've done 3 times more. It's one of the best really cheap signings we did.
It was an absolute bargain. Hey, and then I would say when he was bought as a backup, and he ended up in the treble winning in the Champions League final that season. It was one of our best defenders, along with Aki.
Yeah, he was great.
Yeah.
I think
Mark, what's your thoughts on Akanji?
It's been a bargain.
Yeah.
No, it's been
What's
good.
your thoughts on
Been good
Akanji,
for-
Mark? Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good for us all the way through. I just think he's been one of them steady players all the way along. Obviously, the last few games I was playing for us, it's like he had concrete boots on.
Well, we'll say this, Mark. We'll say this. The season last season, when we had loads and loads of injuries, he played through the pain barrier to help us out, and he did.
Yeah,
big time. So we've got to help. We've got to say thank you for that. Because
Yeah.
the last person that did that, who played through the pain barrier, was Laporte, and he basically left City when his legs were completely.
To be fair, I think Diaz and Ake played through the pain barrier last year. Ake played when he couldn't sprint. 2 games, Ake couldn't sprint, and he came back in, and he came back in playing, knowing in his heart of hearts there's probably a 50% chance my hammy's going to go again. And I think probably Diaz played quite a few games under the needle as well. I think Stones probably didn't play when he was injured, or if he was injured, he only lasted about 2 minutes. But Akanji put his body on the line last year.
And
he's a legend to me.
Yeah.
I just
And you know
really
what? You know
enjoyed.
what
My
happened?
best memory of Akanji is just the the sort of defensive sort of link-up play that he had with Nathan Ake. You know, when we used to say, "Oh, we got 2 AKs in our backline," basically. So, they just seem to work well together, and I like the story of how, you know, you take these 2 centre backs. One of them, you know, being a Dutch defender, Dreadlock Maldini, as we call him. You know, he was known as a very consistent defender, but the sort of player that you thought he's the sort of reason he's a big reason why Bournemouth was able to sort of stay above drop zone every single year. You know, when Bournemouth came up, you know, and we thought about he'd be a good defender maybe for a mid-table team or something like that. You know, and then we decided to take a chance on him, and from the get-go he was good all along. And then Manuel Akanji comes along. You know, as we said, he was sort of a bit on the edge of the squad, basically at Borussia Dortmund. Even Dortmund fans were saying online, "I was like, oh, you're getting a scrub. Basically, he's not that good and everything like that." And then once you just get a good partnership with some players together, that sometimes just because of who they play for doesn't mean that they're not a good player. And I think what we were able to do, the tune we were able to get out of those 2 players, yes, they weren't our first choice game in, game out, but when they did play, when we called upon them, they performed, and they were always either consistently good or better or above average at the absolute minimum. And I think a lot has to go down to those 2, especially what we did in that season.
The treble-winning season, Aki was our best defender by a long way.
Absolutely, I agree with you, mate. Centre back and left back, it didn't matter where it was. Yeah,
I'm not having that. Stones was our best player.
Stones wasn't a centre back.
So, well, he was playing centre back. He was playing centre back. He just was
on paper. He was.
10,
he was centre back on paper. He was centre back
on
paper, but on turf he was everywhere except centre back.
He was our best player.
One at a time.
Therefore,
One at a time.
Here we go. Order.
Come on, Nora. Sort him out.
Rich, you love Johnny Stones. You know, if you have one person that has a go, you will just rise up every time.
I'm just pointing out the fact that Stones was our best player that season. Therefore, he was our best defender.
We took a girl all the way to the top.
Donnarumma.
Oh,
yeah.
Sorry,
now we need to talk about that is for Alan actually. Yeah, I was considering where we might start packing up the show, but I think we have to talk about Donnarumma with Alan in the building.
Yeah. Donnarumma's like
so business was done.
Alan loves it.
Business was done between City and PSG for Italian goalkeeper and first choice Gianluigi Donnarumma. I believe it's a 5-year deal, transfer fee of roughly around about 25 to 30 million euro, probably some add-ons there as well. Not sure what the wages are because for some reason when it was rumored about him coming, the wages were mentioned before tax, which is like why all of a sudden now is he mentioned as before tax. But anyway, that's a whole different thing. At the end of the day, look, I think it's a bold move from City, you know, moving away from, you know, ball playing goalkeeper and Edison now. But I'll tell you what, I cannot wait to see him between the sticks because I think he's going to be absolutely electric with his gloves, with his hands in that this season. So I'm excited about it, mate. I know Alan's sneaked off because he doesn't want to hear about it, but I am looking forward to what is probably the most informed goalkeeper over the last 12 months in world football, basically. So can only hope that he continues this good form. And there you go. Alan's rule at Pete, for anybody who doesn't know, Alan only has one rule at Manchester City. The only Italians that ever allowed at that club were Mancini and Balotelli, and that was it.
Yeah.
In his world, only Mancini and Balotelli. Yeah. That's it.
I'll tell you what, is Balotelli?
I don't want him.
Is Balotelli coming to Australia? If he does, and there's a fair chance, then I'm going to be interested. For the first time, yes, I'm going to be interested.
It is Blues Down Under, people, so we need to talk about this. Yes, there are heavy rumours going around that Mario Balotelli may be coming to Australia to play in the A-League. The other problem is, though, apparently he's asking for $3 million or something in wages or something like that.
Bargain. You'll get $3 million in newspaper coverage the first weekend. We need him in Sydney.
Parking funds.
Central Coast, he'd be magic.
No,
He'd
no,
be like-
no, Rich. You know what it should be. It should be he'll get himself his camo Bentley Continental back,
Yeah.
and then you'll find out in the
Driving it
first
round the
week he's got like
rocks.
$20,000 in
Yeah.
parking fines because he stopped traffic in George Street because he kept parking on the light.
I'm sorry,
No,
sorry to
he'll-
jump
he'll
in.
park.
Which
He'll park on the Harbour Bridge to take a photo.
Yeah, he will. Yeah,
Which,
he'll climb up there
clubs
himself.
has he? So which
Perth's
clubs
the
has he been
latest.
linked with over there?
Apparently Perth
Western
Glory,
Sydney before.
Western Sydney, and one of the Melbourne clubs. I'm not sure yet.
It better not be Victory. Better not be.
Melbourne City would
I
be
will
good.
not,
They
I
could
will
pay
not
him.
like him if he goes there.
Do you know what worries me?
Well,
is that
technically-
he'll go to Sydney
technically
FC. If nobody else comes in for the money, they'll just say hell with it and they'll go for it. And I don't want him to
Sydney.
go to Sydney FC.
Yeah.
He can't go to Sydney FC. I'll lose my mind if he goes there.
I don't mind
Can you
where
imagine if he goes to Melbourne
as long as I get to
City?
see
Can you
him.
imagine?
If he goes to Melbourne City, Amy Park's going to fill up again.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
100% it will fill up.
Definitely.
You'll get an extra. You're guaranteed you'll get an extra 5,000 to 10,000 every match.
That's
they
right.
purchase fee.
It's only because you've never seen footballers like that over there.
Oh, to
We
be
are.
fair, they've had like
We are.
Romario, Del Piero, Juninho.
yeah.
They've had some
David
good-
Villa.
they've had some good players.
Villa.
Shinji Ono.
David
He was
Villa,
bloody
yeah.
good at the Wanderers.
But we've never had a Balotelli. No
Whoa,
one's had a
whoa,
Balotelli.
whoa! Look at them! Look at them! They're all jumping. They're all jumping here now. Look at them all.
Oh,
you've been there.
Balotelli! He's a striker. He's good at darts.
He's good at darts.
Yeah.
He's got an allergy to grass, but when he scores, he's fucking
He's
class.
fucking class.
He drives around my side with a bullet full of cash.
He starts his house
Can I
on fire,
just-
lights and crackers from his
Balotelli.
bar. Oh, Balotelli.
Going away from all that, I want to ask Martin something. You reckon Echeverry might come back in January? Is that what you're thinking?
Well, it gets weird because Leverkusen just sacked Ten Hag after 3 matches. Did anybody see that?
How
Yeah.
good is that?
What the
How
hell is
brilliant
going
is that?
on?
Because why I'm saying
Apparently,
it,
we've got a
is-
recall. We've got a recall.
apparently why I'm saying that is, how come you get Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool playing their kids without fear, and we've sent them on loan, and they're balling as well. They're balling their kids,
The different
and we've
the
sent ours
difference
away.
is that but Echeverry,
Well, the
We
difference
have
is
to-
we kind of
make up
outplaying our kids, aren't we?
Echeverry, we can't name on our European list because we've got 17 players, whereas the kids at Arsenal are homegrown and at Liverpool are homegrown kids. So Echeverry would be in a different kettle of fish. I mean, Divine.
No, and
McAllister,
Rich
Esteban
actually wanted to
would have
play
been.
as well. He wanted to
What
play.
about Esteban?
He wanted to
Chelsea.
play football.
He wouldn't be homegrown, would he? Esteban,
Yeah,
Chelsea.
but he'd have to be named in their 17 foreign players in the Champions League.
The rules
So
are
we-
different in Champions League,
Yeah.
Premier League.
I just thought when I seen their kids, I thought, God, I'd love to see Echeverry, same as them. You know what I mean? No fear, they're just playing.
But City are playing kids, though, aren't they? Hence Oscar Bob,
Yeah.
Nico Lewis, Nico Riley.
Yeah,
So
true.
that's the difference. City are already playing some kids. Echeverry was signed. I think that's the difference. I know one's going about Arsenal playing theirs, but Arsenal's version of their kids is the same as us with Oscar Bob O'Reilly, etc. That's all they're
totally.
doing. Look, Louis Skelly came out of their academy, so and is it Wanyera? So they've not bought them. So it's not like it's a bit different with Echeverry. Echeverry was bought.
We could bring Heskey on.
And another thing, can I just say this about Napoli? Can you see KDB feeding Hoyland?
No, because it's Hoyland.
He could be the top goal scorer with him feeding him.
Do you know
He might
what,
feed
mate?
him.
We're more
You know
likely to
what?
see a McTominay 25-yard volley.
You know what? They were saying that Ireland was as good as fucking Ireland when he was at United, weren't they? They're all
And
saying
Nunes.
it. I was laughing
And
my head
Nunes
off.
was
when I saw
better.
that. Hey?
Pat,
And Nunes was better than him.
just because I'm going to jump in a minute. Have you talked about the cheap tickets for the Champions
No,
League?
we haven't yet. No, we should have. I was looking at mentioning that too, but Rich was the first one to bring it up in the group chat. So, yeah, I think we might have a quick chat about that. Alan, I don't know if you've seen this. Mark yourself too, because I mean, it does affect us being, OSC members. So, Rich, do you want to lead? Because I've got the link here somewhere, but I'll just have to.
Yeah, I just saw the comment saying that they've changed the rules for buying Champions League tickets, and you have to have a match day membership. You have to have been to a game in, I don't know if it's this season or in the last 12 months, and you have to have had your membership before the season the draw was made for the Champions League. So basically, they're stopping the fans of Napoli doing what happened a lot last season, registering for match day membership once they know they're playing away at City, and then buying tickets, alongside everyone else when they're on open sale. So it will hopefully stop what we saw against Madrid and what we saw against Feyenoord, where there were at times dozens, if not hundreds, of away fans in the home stands, openly at Feyenoord game, openly cheering their team, and stopping City fans getting tickets, and also, probably causing some rucks and bit of trouble. So it looks like City have clamped down on that, and that we should.
There was, Rich. There was a lot of that last season.
Yeah, no, it looked like
Real Madrid.
I mean, it's been happening since before
the Real Madrid one was the worst.
Yeah.
And the also
when did it really start becoming noticeably a problem, Martin? Was it because I remember people first really started having big complaints about it probably when we played Madrid in the last False 9 season, when we beat them at home 4-3.
Yeah,
I remember a few people at the time was saying that was really bad. Yeah. Which is so bizarre because when Madrid come to Manchester, they don't fill out their away allocation. They never fill it. And yet somehow you get all these Madrid fans come over and just take all the home tickets. It's so bizarre.
They weren't coming from Madrid. There were loads, and they were coming from all over the UK. South American students in the UK and stuff like that. But I went to Watford on the Saturday and then Madrid on the Wednesday, and I reckon the average person in the crowd was about 10 years younger for the Madrid game than the Watford game, and there was about twice as many or 3 times as many from outside, the normal supporter base. It was just a totally different demographic. There were I was sat amongst a load of Allens on the Watford game, and then by the Madrid game, you're sitting with like 5 students from London who are all from South America who've come up for the game to see Madrid. And
it was different because they've changed it now. You've got to. Because I don't know if anyone's in Facebook groups, so they've changed a lot of them around now. City are now doing their due diligence. They have done that for a couple of years, to be fair. So there's a lot of tickets now going to be where you've got to pick them up at the ticket office on the night and show ID, and the ID has to match the name on the ticket.
Yeah,
that's good. It's good.
Right, I found the article here. It was Simon Bajkowski who's with MEN, isn't he? He put out a tweet a few hours ago saying Manchester City announced reduced ticket prices for Champions League. Napoli and Dortmund to be Category B tickets. That is between £35 to £55 for adults and £15 for under 18s. Leverkusen and Galatasaray cheaper Category C ticket. They will be ranging between £25 to £45 and £10 for under 18s. Steps are also taken to stop away fans getting tickets.
That's brilliant.
So that's only a fraction more than the regulated £30, I believe it is, for all away games.
Yeah.
So that's a real big step in the right direction.
Yeah.
Well, you've got three family with 3 kids. You can go and see a top side because Galatasaray and Leverkusen are not,
the Napoli Dortmund games will be brilliant games. They'll be worth seeing.
You could take a family of 5 and not spend much over 100.
Yep.
Maybe 150, and that's reasonable. I think what we've seen in the past is 400 quid or 500 quid to take a family to the game, and that's ridiculous. So hopefully that'll make for better atmospheres too. Got more home fans.
Was it last season or the season before we had Bournemouth at home, like the latter part of the season? I'm not saying Bournemouth last season because that was KDB's last game, so I knew tickets were going to be a bit of a hike there. But there was one of those games, I think it might have been the 4 in a row season, and Bournemouth away was for somewhat was getting allocated £81 or something. That's when you know things are getting way too steep. And I think this is a huge step in the right direction.
I've got to drop.
I know it's Champions
I'll
League,
see
but
you all in a bit.
All right, Martin. Thanks very much, mate. All good. We'll wrap up soon, but we'll quickly close on this because, like, this is big for all four of us. You know, we're all having some sort of involvement with supporters clubs, and you know, like for us, I mean, at the end of the day, when we travel and we don't get to travel, you know, we don't get to go to games as regularly as other people in other parts of the world. But it's a nice peace of mind to know that, you know, given you have to fork out heaps of money for airfares, you have to fork out heaps of money for accommodation and things like that, to know that, you know, only a very, very small fraction of your budget is now going to go towards match day tickets. Just means that it's a better experience for everybody. I mean, if you keep the tickets cheap, nobody's ever going to say, regardless what happens in the match, whether it be you're next to a fan who's as miserable as Alan, or, you know, the beers are too warm or anything like that. You're not going to worry about the price of the ticket for that reason, basically. You know what I mean? So it is something that, you know, for us as OSC members and, you know, being involved with supporters clubs, it's a big step forward. And yeah, I'm really happy with it. The only thing I hope, and Alan, I want your opinion on this because you're showing it right now. Do you think City Matters and who's the other one, 1894? I think not only is this a step in the right direction, but do you think they should keep pressing to try and get ticket prices even lower?
Yes, I do. Let's look. The world economy, England, America, Australia, wherever, everyone's struggling right now. No, the money's not flowing everywhere. So the more reasonable they can get tickets, not just to City, everywhere in the UK, the better for everybody for the time being. For the time being, when things change and the economy changes throughout the world, then you can relook at it again. But the problem is the Premier League and UEFA and FIFA are just money grabbing, and they are. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And while the PSR rule, and while they've invented these rules to stop City and Newcastle, right, and the PSR bullshit, that's not helping either. It really isn't. We can thank Mr. Levy for that.
Oh, you're referring to like the cost of season tickets for teams like Tottenham and Arsenal? Yeah, everything. Levy's also is right behind the 115, and we know he is.
Yeah.
And you know, with all due respect, everyone's struggling right now, not just in Manchester but also London, you know, and around the world. And there's no common sense here. It's just greed from football chairmen and the Premier League and FIFA and UEFA, and it is pure greed.
I mean, I think we're a bit cheaper up here, aren't we? I think down London, obviously, it's scandalous, the prices down there.
Yeah. But the thing is, we all know that London's more expensive than Manchester. You know, it's like Melbourne and Sydney, isn't it? There's a big difference.
Yeah.
I
mean, the difference isn't as drastic as it used to be, but you can tell there's a difference.
There is a difference. Cost of living. Not everybody's got, you know, lots and lots of money. I have a business. I've got my own recruitment business, and I've seen a drop in recruitment in the last 2 years. So that's affected my purse. You know, at the end of the day, everyone is having to fight for what they can get at the moment. So taking a piss on sports in general and how much it costs to go in places is ridiculous.
I mean, I'm still of the view that I'd like us to keep enough cheap tickets to always make sure the atmosphere is great, and you know, fans who bring some, because some of the people who can afford the least make the best atmosphere. And you know, it's why the Kippax, when you know, you used to be able to get on the Kippax for, you know, £5 or less, and you know, you had the best atmosphere there because lads could go have a few drinks and really cheer the club on. And we've lost a little bit, well, all Premier League football, I think it's why you have to get a better atmosphere in the lower divisions.
I used to crawl under the turnstile on my hands and knees and get free.
I've always thought To be fair, Alan, I've always thought you were a Scouser, so that's confirmed it. You got Alan the Scouser, Martin the Rag. You know,
and as soon as he got up from that turnstile, that was what was waiting for him.
I
hope Governor's not going to break out in a broad Cockney accent now.
No.
See you at the clock end, mate.
Paying £5 in of kickbacks, you must have been in the posh end. Hey?
Yeah.
He was in the Navy seats. He was the posh Navy seats, Mark. Yeah,
I had a season ticket that was.
So was Martin actually. Martin was in the posh Navy seats too.
I always used to stand near the cage, wind them up.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I did as well. Not right near the cage, not the top, near the bottom.
Yeah, because I'm a bit younger than you. I used to be stood
right
in front with my hands on the bars like a chimpanzee, looking through the bars.
There you go. He said it. He reached the Oxford fan. You're still buzzing.
And it got a bit naughty. As well. Used to go in the fat lane.
Better Oxford than United. That's all I'll say. If you're going to be a United, Oxford United.
And we used to go in the fat lane, and there used to be little holes in the fence, and we used to creep into their cage, into their end as well. That was a bit naughty, but
yeah, someone can out me if they want that. I'm following Oxford United on Twitter, but it just doesn't cause the same reputational damage as Man United, does it?
Question for you guys is with ticket prices, because I think if we're going to talk about a positive story from Martin reckons you like cages anyway, so yeah. Okay.
I went to Main Road. I went to Main Road when it was Main Road before Peter Swells destroyed it. Of Ranny Lee.
Yeah. Now, what I was getting to was with the ticket prices was like, because it's good to come back to ticket prices when it's something positive for a change, and I think this is a huge positive, step forward. Do you think there's ever a possibility that we could ever look at tickets being kind of similar to like what it is in Germany, where they have everything capped at a certain price? Now, before we go on, there's a big difference. I know, but what I'm saying is there's a big difference with that because all the German clubs have the 50+1 rule, where the majority is owned by fans. Do you think clubs here could ever get that, or do you think there's just? Sorry,
I thought Bayern didn't have 50+1.
Isn't it a rule in German football that all clubs are the 50+1?
No, you might think that, but it's not.
Yeah, I thought
maybe some more than others. Is that what you're trying to say? Yeah. Some more than others.
Yeah.
I've lost touch with all the guys.
It'll never go that way. It'll never go that way in England. Never, no chance.
The stripper Nathan. Martin saying.
Okay, jeez.
Now you know how Martin feels sometimes, Alan.
Mate, as you know, my ex was called Donna, and I don't fucking like her. So there you go. He's a fucking slag.
Not Donna.
Do you like Donna kebabs?
It was Jackie's taxi.
No, I like chicken kebabs. I don't want to say that word. I hate it.
So that's okay. So the keeper known as Rumor.
Yeah, I don't want to mention that name. That's one of the reasons why I don't like it.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway, I feel like it's turned into a family court. But anyway. Josh has said every club has the 50+1, so it must be a rule across all of
there are exemptions though, because I know there were a whole series of clubs like Bayer Leverkusen and Hoffenheim and stuff that had exemptions. I don't know about Bayern. I thought Bayern didn't, but maybe they do now.
Yeah,
but
I don't know. Yeah. That'd be something to have like a German fan on. They'd probably it's got it. Germans probably got it right because the worst managed clubs in the world are the ones like Barcelona, who are supposedly entirely owned by the fans, and then they become like a political circus where everyone's standing for election with stupid promises, and they end up being far more irresponsible and stupid than any of their commercially owned clubs. So it's but the reason you will never get ticket prices the same or capped in Britain is because in London they charge twice or three times as much what they do in most of the rest of the country, and there is no way
Chelsea, Spurs, Arsenal, and clubs like that are ever going to vote to halve their ticket prices, because if they do, it will help City, it will help Liverpool, it will help United, it will help all the clubs up north, and it will screw London. And I don't believe for 1 second that people like Levy and Arsenal and Bowley at Chelsea and stuff are all going to vote, be like turkeys waiting for Christmas. They won't do it. They've got an advantage over the northern clubs because they can generate 10, 20, 30 million more from their grounds during the season, and they're never going to throw that away.
Totally agree. Well said.
Yeah. Adam Quinn, it's good to see you, mate.
Does that if Nora's just agreed with me, does that make me cleggy?
And Adam, fuck off.
Thank you.
Don't worry, Governor, it makes you compo. But anyway.
Oh yeah, compo. Jesus.
Different generation.
I know if that's a compliment.
Anyway, look, guys, we've been going for an hour and a half. I think we'll start wrapping it up anyway.
Can I go to bed now?
Yes, of course. I know it's past your bedtime. Go and fix your hot water bottle. Make sure all your medication is lined up in the correct days.
But Martin said,
is there enough room in that bed with that goal?
Martin said to me, first of all, that which is a doner kebab.
Yeah.
And then he sent me that one.
Yeah.
Martin, fuck off.
Yeah. Should we all
boys? I can't wait
for the outro. Should we all sing a bit of Donna Summer for the outro?
Right, I know that's Summer, but what's one of her favorite? What's one of her famous songs?
Donna is a fucking slag. Donna is a slag.
Donna is our number one.
God. There we go. Quinny's on. Quinny's been sensible now. Chris Wood is. Yeah. Chris Wood is going to score a hat trick against the Socceroos on Friday.
Yeah. I had him treble captain on Saturday, and he let me down.
Yeah. He's on my fantasy league team and all that.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's
smart choice, gentlemen. Anyway, we'll wrap it up for this evening, guys. Big thanks to everybody involved with the show, of course. We will be back, I believe, in a few hours UK time. I'm pretty sure Martin's going to have all the Americans on for Blues Down Under. Thursday night chat, we'll be back as usual. Thursday about 9 p.m, 9:30. Keep an eye out for that. Not sure what the plans are over this international break, but we will try and keep you guys a bit occupied because, I think even though poor results, we want football to be back, and sometimes an international break can be a bit of a nuisance. But we'll see what happens. We might try and get some guests on next week as well too. Probably talk about a few old main road days. So this we'll hopefully this time next week we might have a bit of the old some of the old Sydney Blues on and talk about some things of the glory days that they were used to as well. But that's all to come anyway.
Get Spencer back.
We're working on it, mate. We're working on it. We're working on it. Yeah.
Spencer wants to chat to you about Trafford. To be honest.
Mate, don't worry. He rang me the day after and had a right good one.
For those who didn't know, after the Spurs game, Spencer Pryor, former Manchester City player Spencer Pryor, who was watching the game at the pub in Sydney with us, with myself and Rich, was absolutely giving Alan the big one after Trafford let that goal in.
Yeah,
it was absolutely. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Yeah, and then as he was driving home back to DY. He was on the phone to me. Were you in the car with him, Rich?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pair of them pissing themselves laughing and winding me up big time. And I was angry. So there you go.
Yeah.
Anyway, boys, I can't wait for the derby. Can't wait. Got to be positive.
I don't want to talk about it yet because I'll get nervous.
Yeah.
Nah,
I can't talk about it yet. Yeah.
So it's turn it around.
If we didn't have to play United straight after the international break, I'd be like, I'm gonna hate this international break. But now it's sort of like, no, I'm glad. Just let things settle, and hopefully we can come back with a bit of with the wind at our back, basically, because yeah, nothing more I want. Nothing I want more than just absolutely batter the rags in a few weeks' time. Anyway, but guys, look, we'll leave it as it is. Big up to Mark.
Yeah. No, I've got one thing. I've got
Thanks,
one
mate.
thing to say to.
Oh God, here
one
we go.
thing to say to Alan. I'm looking for some hot stuff, baby, this evening. Looking for some hot stuff, baby, tonight. That's going to be our new song.
Hot stuff on your Donna kebab.
Don't give up your day job,
song for Donna.
Alan's gone, ladies and gentlemen. He's out. He's pulled the plug.
I think when we all start singing that to Donnarumma,
he's rage quit.
Donnarumma,
what are the young ones saying? They said, yeah,
we're going to be flying.
Alan's rage quit. Clip it, please.
Hey, you've actually never played the national anthem.
We'll put it out end of year special.
That's what you did to.
Big up to everybody who's been involved. Of course, we will be back. Like I said, whatever the American show was, I've gone blank. Sorry.
Yeah.
And Thursday night, that will all be on Thursday. Oil Brothers, I believe. Baz will be back with Martin for Oil Brothers on
at 5:15 a.m. Friday morning.
Well. Yeah, yeah, bright and early. Yeah, guys. But look, leave it as it is. Big thanks to everybody. Of course, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe. We are on our way to 10K. I believe we're getting a little bit closer to 7.5K. So the way we're progressing is absolutely fantastic at the moment. Of course, if you know any Blues out there who want to, be a part of the channel, get involved or anything like that, please, get the word out to everyone you know. Sorry,
we're down to 6,200 after I sung to Alan.
And it's raining.
I thought we were down to 5 when you didn't come in when you came on without a hat on. You're scaring the kiddies, mate.
Need to turn the light down a bit
okay.
more.
The Vimto got him
too
back.
bright.
Yeah, but anyway, guys, look, let's leave it as it is. Of course, I think we're all over it now after the performance against Brighton. But I'm sure we had a nice. I'm sure we gave the. Sorry, mate.
Don't watch that second half, Pat.
No, I don't think I will. I think, I've enjoyed my days off work and I like to keep it that way. But look, let's leave it as it is anyway. Big up to everybody. We will be back with the American lads, Oil Brothers, Thursday night chat. That will be coming over the next couple of days. Keep an eye out for that. And until then, always a pleasure, never a chore. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Rich. This has been another episode of Blues Down Under. Thank you very much. And always, as we say, up the Blues. Come on, City.
Come on, boys.
Come on.